Okay, welcome back to Soul Reaver 2 Remastered. I have gone ahead and grabbed the fire. We've got the fire element, now we need the light element. I wonder. Hey lady. Oh, that looked like it's stunned. Yeah, it turns out there's a fire pond right there. And you don't have to go all the way back to the bridge. Excuse me. That's fell. Okay. And to the water font, or to the light font, so we can open the door. Oh! Ow! Bitch.
Guard me, brothers!
Yeah, you're kind of on your own on the exit, lady.
Guard me, brothers!
What did we learn? Is now two-stage lock.
There's one!
Yeah, I'm supposed to go this way.
Get it!
Hey, look. You leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. Hey, this place looks a lot cleaner than it used to. All white marble and pretty stained glass. Although the stained glass looks different. Just a little.
Seize him!
Yours first. Grab that just in case. Once again, the doors are locked, so we're just going to go through the ones that are open.
Suddenly and inexplicably, I discovered the Reaver suspiciously laid across my path. Again, I sensed nothing of that temporal distortion, the peculiar sense of displacement I had felt when I encountered the Reaver in William's chapel. Cornered here with the blade, I suffered the same nameless dread that I had experienced when Janos first presented the Reaver to me. I felt at once repelled by the blade, and yet overwhelmingly compelled to seize it.
So, Raziel, here we are, finally. You have no choice but to confront me now, and I am not so foolish as I've let you believe. We have business to conclude.
You knew I would lead the Seraphim to Janos, you vile bastard. You've been orchestrating my every move. My destiny is an amusement to you.
It was fun while it lasted. I think not, Raziel. Malik, do not let this creature leave. He poses a danger to the Circle. Poor, deluded Raziel, did you somehow imagine you had the guile to change history on me? I'm the Time Streamer. I knew your every intention before you did, you imbecile.
Call your dogs! They can feast on your corpses!
Lord Mobius, there is trouble within. The circle is under
Hold
attack.
fast, Malik. This one is the real danger to us.
What are you trying to concoct here, Mobius?
You toxic creature. Did you imagine I'd simply allow you to run loose, corrupting everything you encounter?
I admit that I've underestimated you to this point, Mobius. It's a mistake I won't repeat.
Wrong again, Raziel. Now, Malik, bolt the door.
Using his staff to disable my Wraithblade, Mobius effectively disarmed me, leaving me with only one choice of weapon. And yet I confess, it was not the lack of options, but blind rage that made me take up the Reaver. In my fury, it felt as though my hand had acted of its own will. And now, that same hand clutched the hilt with unyielding strength, and I felt a constrained tingling, a remote but palpable sense of longing, as the disabled Wraithblade tried vainly to embrace its physical twin.
That's actually a good thing. The Wraithblade being disabled, because if it wasn't, well, we'll get to that.
Come to take your revenge, demon?
Back to hell with you!
I recognize these two as my former brethren, in life as Sarafan, and in unlife as Kain's vampire sons. Melchiah and Zephon, the weakest of Kain's brood. These bastards had no idea what future lay in store for them, how they would become the very thing they so despised. The Reaver hummed with ravenous anticipation. Janos had called it a vampiric blade, endowed with the power to drain its victims of their lifeblood. I was eager to see what the Reaver would do to these two.
So the game is very forgiving here, because we're essentially playing Fate's pawn rather than acting against it. Our health is effectively infinite. Also, you know, again, however, the combat system betrays us. If I remember correctly, it's Zephon on with the sword and Melchiah with the staff. Zephon is taking a beating and still just moving right along. This is why this fight is stupid. It will not allow me to consume their souls because those are necessary for their essential life. I've forgotten how the power attack works. it doesn't really matter. You can see it's not. Yes, I'm bad at this. I fully admit it. But you can see it's not really me that's the problem. The gameplay mechanics are dog shit.
As Melchiah and Zephon fell before my blade, I felt the Reaver's bloodthirst as keenly as I ever had when I was still a vampire. I could sense the boundary between us dissolving. The Reaver was consumed with my rage, and I was intoxicated by its bloodlust. The blade had a vitalizing effect on me. My physical energy no longer decayed over time, and the wounds inflicted by my foes healed almost instantly. The Reaver had made me invincible.
And I think I think the designers kind of realized that their gameplay is, their combat, which is now the focus of the game, is kind of shit. So they've done this, giving you a massive handicap. That's different.
Have you come to reclaim the monster's black heart?
You'll have to get through us first.
Okay.
My former brethren, Duma and Rahab, confronted me next. This all seemed so elegantly choreographed. Exhilarated by the Reaver, I was drunk with revelations. I could finally appreciate the delicious irony of Kain's blasphemous private joke, and I reveled as I colluded with him across the centuries. For it was I who put these bastards in their tomb, thus providing the corpses for Kain to raise as his vampire sons a millennium from now.
Get back to the pit you crawled from, demon.
And here at last was my brother Turel, who along with Duma would bear me into the abyss without questioning Kain's command. So dutiful and righteous, even as a vampire. I guess some habits die hard. The vampire Turel had eluded my vengeance. The Sarafan Turel would not.
So that's a reference to the fact that we only killed 4 vampire lords in the first game. And that's because someone... It's because they actually ran out of money. But, yeah, nobody noticed. busy dealing with the Dumas bullshit. Nope, blocked. And there's no real reason for us to go there. And the death of Janos Aldrin is no longer on the stained glass mirror, or stained glass window. Jesus, stained glass mirror would be absolutely worthless. Except as maybe a circus attraction. So that's 5 out of 6. Only one left.
So, vampire, here we are. You've destroyed my brethren, and now you've come for me. You'll find I'm not such easy prey. I don't want to kill you, but I will if I must. Return the heart to me, and we can end this now. So, you've come to avenge that filthy parasite and reclaim his foul heart. You're a righteous fiend, aren't you? Apparently I am. No, vampire. This is where it ends. But you won't be leaving this room. Now, let's finish this. I'll make it mercifully quick. As you did for Janos? No, that beast had eluded us for far too long. It would have been a shame to end him too quickly. It's ironic, really. The great Janos Aldrin turned out to be no challenge at all. Thanks to you. Did you hear his cowardly screams when I tore that black heart out of his carcass?
Ironically, Raziel the human is a better swordsman than Raziel the vampire. The timing window for attacks and dodges is 0. There's not even a wind up. By the time the computer reacts, I'm hitting the button when he swings. But by the time the computer bothers to get up and do something, this was the other reason I had to give you infinite health. Raziel the human hits like a truck. He hits almost as hard as the demons. No way to get. I don't know what that's supposed to be.
I renounce you. And so it ends. My history comes full circle.
Not quite. but we're getting there.
Sensing its twin, the Wraithblade uncoiled itself from me, and instead wound lovingly around its former self. I felt its grip loosen, and as the blade left me, its absence chilled me more than its presence ever had. A foreboding sense of emptiness and loss stole over me, and a terrible revelation gathered like a storm at the edge of my awareness. With all other foes exhausted, the conjoined blades turned themselves on me, and I realized, finally, why I had sensed nothing when Janos offered me the blade. The Reaver was never forged to be a soul-stealing weapon. The ravenous, soul-devouring entity trapped in the blade was, and always had been, me. This is why the blade was destroyed when Kain tried to strike me down. The Reaver could not devour its own soul. The paradox shattered the blade. So, this was my terrible destiny. To play out this purgatorial cycle for all eternity. I could not bear it. Despair overwhelmed me. You. Are you enjoying this, Kain?
Don't fight it, Raziel. Give into it.
Was this your destiny for me all along?
Trust me.
I felt myself weakening, unable to hold on any longer. The Reaver was too strong. The compulsion to simply let go, too great. And then, a growing sense of vertigo and the familiar displacement. The paradoxical moment when my twin soul hovered both outside and inside the Reaver blade. This was the instant, the glimmer of temporal distortion Kain had been counting on all along. This was the edge of the coin, the minute flicker of probability upon which Kain had gambled everything.
Now you are free to reclaim your true destiny, Raziel.
Behind Kain's eyes, I could see new memories blooming and dying as history labored to reshuffle itself around this monumental obstruction. And I could see by the dawning horror on his face that perhaps we had strained history too far this time. That by trying to alter my fate, he may have introduced a fatal paradox.
My God. The Hilden. We walked right into their trap. Raziel, Janos must stay dead.
But Kain's warning was lost as I slipped into the spirit realm, too weak to maintain my physical form. And there, waiting for me as always, was the Reaver, the Wraithblade, my own soul, twinned and bound eternally to me. And I realized that I could never escape my terrible destiny. I had merely postponed it. History abhors a paradox.
The end. Kind of. So there's one more game in the series, Legacy of Kain Defiance, and it's Kain and Raziel's attempt to undo the disaster of their own making. So Kain mentions somebody, the Hilden, and it's the reason I didn't play Legacy of Kain 2. Legacy of Kain 2. So the Hilden are worse than the demons. They're extra-dimensional entities who want to destroy Nosgoth and remake it in their own demented image. And they've been cast out by the old one. And the pillars of Nosgoth keep them locked out, with the pillars destroyed and Kain failing, and essentially with reality essentially crumbling because of what he and Raziel just did. The Hildren are allowed back into reality. And that's the concept of Defiance, is how do they stop the Hildren and essentially keep surviving. Or in Raziel's case, get the ending he gets the peace he wants. But unfortunately, there's no updated version of Defiance. So if I can get it to work, I might play it. But otherwise, we're kind of stuck at the end of this, end of the road here. I mean, obviously, this is not going to be the end of the channel. I actually have a different apocalyptic trilogy to go through. And I'm going to take a break from the Legacy of Kain series. I will see if I can get Defiance to run. But it's on good old games for a reason, and newer versions of Windows are not cooperative. But on that note, I'm going to call it a video, and I will see you guys whichever game I decide to play next. Take care.